my name is Sarah Markham, and I work as the Marketing Director at the Wireless Broadband Alliance. And today, I'm delighted to have with me Sanjiv Verma. He's the Vice President for Asia Pac for CommScope. Welcome, Sanjiv.
Thanks, Sarah, and pleasure to be here.
Let us start off then by tell us a little bit about yourself and anything you can tell us about CommScope.
Sure, Sarah. So I joined Ruckus CommScope recently at the beginning of this year. Prior to this, I have worked for several large networking vendors, so overall 30-year experience in this industry. So I worked for 3Com, I worked for Juniper Networks, and also worked for companies in the security space like NetScreen and Plixer. So that's my brief background. Just to share with a little bit about CommScope. CommScope is a global network technology leader, and we help customers and partners to design, create, and build the world's most advanced communication network. So we enable connectivity from data centers to building and campuses, to the large venues, to homes, to broadband access, so that technologies like 5G and Wi-Fi could work.
That sounds great. And we're here now in 2021. We're quarter of the way through. What does the year ahead have in store for you?
Right. So this is, if you look at, we have been, having since the beginning of the last year, we've been all facing pandemic in different parts of the world, and it has been going through the cycles, right? So when you look through these, there are certain trends which have emerged out of all this, with everyone working from home, clearly, the internet access and also digitalization of services has become very critical. And this is how most of the world has been operating. And I don't see things changing there, right? So clear outcome of all this is reliance on technologies will be there, and it will be here with us for a while now, because once there are behavior changes of the consumer, likely it will stay in that way. So that's why you will see the reliance on software as a services or using cloud connectivity technologies will be here for us. So what it means is that broadband connectivity, 5G, all these kinds of technologies will be here so that consumers can seamlessly access data and continue to leverage all these cloud-based applications, for day-to-day use. So that's what we see. So we continue to work with our global partner network so that we can provide our customers and our, their businesses the necessary support they need to run.
Okay. And with CommScope, obviously, you've got the Wi-Fi capabilities. How do you see Wi-Fi and 5G sort of working together?
Yes, so definitely what we see, Wi-Fi and 5G will work together. They are not, so we see them as a complementary technology. So it's not that one is going to replace another one. No, they will coexist, because when you are in a building and the experience you want to have in a high density environment is very different with Wi-Fi versus when you are in an outdoor, in a remote location, and that's where 5G connectivity comes into the picture. Also, the cost of infrastructure which service providers have to build, to roll out 5G is very different than rolling out the Wi-Fi infrastructure in the building. So where we see it, we have both the technologies, so we can offer both the solution to customers, and they will coexist because each has their own utilization in certain part. So that's how we foresee. We see these technologies coexist, and telcos will leverage these to provide the best services to their customer based on what is optimum for their cost structure, optimum from customer experience point of view.
So the best technology for the right solution, essentially.
Yeah. Yes, you said it, Sarah.
And one of the things that obviously has happened over the last couple of years, we've seen the evolution, and obviously WBA is very involved in it, the evolution of the WBA OpenRoaming standard. And CommScope was one of the first supporters of that. Why did the company want to participate in this new roaming federation?
Yes. So we clearly see, Sarah, that open roaming is one of the key standards, right? Because today, what you want from user point of view is a seamless experience. We don't want user every time to go worry about, all the guest passwords and login, the credentials, which is a troublesome. So we want to make this seamless, and customer experience is the key thing. Today that's what matters. So that's why, from customer point of view, that's one thing which we want to do. Same way when you look at in any large venue or in any large enterprise organization, so you want to provide a very cost-effective and better coverage. And way to do is, if you can have the roaming capabilities, right? So that's where, again, it becomes very critical, about user experience. And then the third thing, when you look at from industry point of view, there need to be a clear policy and clear guideline and also the standards, so that when people are trying to implement and you're trying to leverage the seamless experience, it becomes very clearly that how to leverage the Wi-Fi certified pass points, right? And so that's what we see it, and that's why for Wi-Fi to grow in the future also in a lot more areas is, these are some of the things if we can address, then we are increasing the number of use cases, right? Otherwise, typically you will have the roaming with the 5G infrastructure with mobile phones, and which is very expensive also, because when you are traveling overseas or you are going across from one operator network to another operator network, so there is a necessary handshake and there is a cost component, which is there. Whereas same way with Wi-Fi, if we can solve all these challenges and there are standards and we leverage some of these technologies which are already there in Wi-Fi certified pass points, we are going to increase the use cases, and that will help with the adoption and customer experience. So that's how we see it.
Okay, so how can WBA OpenRoaming tackle the challenges that often arise in public Wi-Fi deployments?
Yes, so clearly, how you tackle is, that's where, you look at from the industry point of view that how these standards can be defined, correct? And all the vendors as a part of the alliance, agree to certain standards, so that we can solve some of these problems, when you are going to roll out these kinds of infrastructure, and those can be tackled. So that's where the alliance become very important, that they can help, and with the membership you have of the alliance, you can have certain directives so that there is a common platform, where all these things are defined and it can be deployed. So it helps them at the end of the day with the customer experience. So that's where we view that WBA has a very important role in coming everybody on a same platform and defining, and everybody agrees to those standards and the policies and the framework. That's the most important part.
And I guess one of the things that is sort of inherent in that statement is that it enables it to scale much more quickly, because everybody's that standard.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. Well, Sanjiv, I've been delighted talking to you this morning. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Sarah. Appreciate it. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.